So, imagine a future where we see robots at home and in the workplace performing functions that we believe only humans are capable of. Well, that future might not be so far-fetched, with experts saying this could be a reality in as early as the next 10 years. And here's a look at how robotics is catching on in Singapore.
One of them is a robot. The other, it's Maker.
I can place a call, send a text, search for information, open application.
Nadine is a social robot. Her ability to interact and her powerful memory make her a suitable companion for the elderly and autistic children. Prof. Nadia said Nadine will have greater capabilities in the future.
We will have hands articulated in order she is able to take any object, for example, this one or that one, and she has to take them in a way a human takes it. And on the longer run, of course, we have to improve her cognitive and social capabilities. And what we dream of is also that to build in NTU full robots, because we have the capacity with all the groups, and then we have stand-in robots that can walk.
NTU also has robots like Edgar that can mimic human behavior. Edgar is a robotic avatar, which means he can project my voice, my hand movement, and even my facial expression. And as you can see here, I'm smiling through Edgar. Hi! And I don't always have to be beside Edgar. I can be as far away as in California. And as long as we're both connected via the internet, this projection can work. So think of Edgar as my physical body and that I'm the brain controlling his actions. And like what's happening now, I'm delivering my piece to camera through Edgar. I can even interact with people around me, such as giving people fist palms.
I like it. Fist palm.
So imagine the possibilities that can take place. We may see Edgar in shopping centers talking to shoppers, or in the airport talking to passengers. And for all you know, one day my job may well be taken over by robots. But one manpower expert said there's nothing to worry about. That's because people are slowly accepting robots as their colleagues.
But there are definitely large pockets of individuals who believe that their existing knowledge, existing education, their experience is sufficient. Unfortunately, we live in a world that's moving very fast, and if we don't follow up, it will affect us. And I'm not seeing that large parts of the population are taking action.
Mr. Tay said workers must deepen their soft skills and keep up with technology. And the message is getting through. This school, which runs robotics classes for children, has seen more adult learners in the last few years.
Technology is everywhere now. In the home, you have so many appliances, even like a washing machine. All these are surrounding technology. So in a sense, I guess robotics is a good way to introduce them to all these technologies.
And one can never be too young to learn robotics. Over at Singapore Polytechnic's Robotics and Maker Academy, or RMA for short, primary and secondary school students are learning how to build robots. The Polytechnic hopes the experience will inspire students to take up robotics courses in tertiary institutions.
And from this program, we train our students, and very, very important is through this RMA, and the students will gain the necessary skills. These skill sets are very important to enable Singapore to develop the world's first smart nation.
And the view of one robotics firm is, the more people learn about technology, the easier to use them.
Right now, outside of industries such as manufacturing, you don't see a lot of take-up in terms in the use of robotics, simply because people are not quite familiar with how it can be applied. So as more and more people get used to that idea, the take-up rate will increase.
With existing local talents, more academic training, and a smarter workforce, experts are confident that Singaporeans are ready to accept and use robots in the next 10 years.
And to tell us more about social robots, we have Professor Nadia, the human, joining us today. Thanks for joining us today, Prof. So do you think society in general, are we ready to accept robots that look so human-like?
Well, I think there is no problem if these robots behave absolutely in a social and psychological way. I mean, if you are someone with special needs and you have nobody next to you, and you have a robot who looks really and behave like a social worker, then you will accept. On the long run, you don't see even the difference.
Now, you mentioned earlier in the package we saw about NTU's dream is to build a full robot. What exactly does that mean? And is that the next target in terms of robot revolution?
Yes, actually we speak a lot of AI intelligence. That means more logic intelligence. What we would like to do in NTU to be able to build robots, we have seen with EDGAR we can do it, but not only that, to give an outer shell that looks nice and also all the behavior that adapts. So a brain, a logical brain, a social brain, and emotional brains. So the two last aspects are quite complex, but we have everything in NTU to make it.
And it could happen as soon as in 10 years' time, where we have somebody like Nadine going to homes, taking care of patients with dementia and elderly people, as you have mentioned. But how feasible is that? And I guess more importantly, can we afford to own one of these, humanoid robots?
I think within not even 10 years, let's say within the next 5 years, if we put this as a first priority, we will get Nadine robot, and we need a long time to adapt Nadine to all the special needs of people who have Alzheimer or dementia, but we will make it to adapt to every individual, because a robot should not only be a general robot, it should be adapted to everyone, specifically.
Okay, and finally, I just want to touch on, Singapore's aspirations to be the world's first true smart nation. How do you see us getting there?
Well, I think people have to join together. Actually, we speak of robot more on the technical side. We need, to take the barriers off of many disciplines. I think to succeed with a humanoid robot like Nadine, we absolutely need sociologists, psychologists, not only technical people. So we are almost there. We have just to work together.
Well, I'm sure we'll be speaking to you a lot more. Thank you very much, Prof, for being here with us today. And I've been speaking to Professor Nadia from NTU. Now, if you visited us at our outdoor news broadcast today, you'll have had a chance to get up close with some cutting-edge robotic technology. And here are some of the highlights.
They drew curious stares and prompted some interesting questions.
As a virtual human, I don't really have a mother.
Nicole is 20 years old, likes the color blue, and counts electricity as her favorite food. That's what visitors found out after interacting with her. She's also pretty honest.
What do you think about Singapore?
I haven't thought much about Singapore, so I don't have a good answer for you.
For many, it was their first time conversing with Nicole and Edgar, who is a social robot.
I like the fact that we can actually interact with robots and it will give answers.
So what do you learn from the robot today?
That I also can do this and make. I've also got interest in making robots. This has inspired me a lot.
And while they enjoyed it, some say there's nothing quite like human interaction.
It's like talking to computer, and we don't feel, like when we talk to someone, and I feel like, it's something that is not moving. And when we talk to her, we feel like, talking to ourselves. It takes some time for us to used to this kind of environment.
And it looks like that's exactly what he'll have to do, because it looks like these robots could be here to stay.